before we started up, I know you niggas is like, yo, just what the fuck happened right there?
Big shit. Fucking with this wild ass bitch last night. Nah, I play B.
And for those asking, nah, I ain't videotape that shit, B. You think you know me? The inspiration though behind the story, the glitter Air Force One unofficial St. Patrick's Day joints right here. Pretty much in 2006, I was like 16, 17 years old, right? And I was up to no good whatsoever. I can say that right now. You can't, you know, try to prosecute me because of statute of limitations. So yeah, don't even try that shit, snitch ass niggas on YouTube. I was selling drugs to make money, to buy sneakers, to buy clothes, to do whatever the fuck I wanted to do, to rent a car, to whatever, you know what I mean? And when I say selling drugs, I don't mean like weed. Like, don't get me wrong, weed, if you wanted it, it was possible. But I was moving white with a group of friends, right? I'm not gonna say names just out of respect, and I'm not trying to tell on nobody. So let's just call them, I guess, A and B, right? A and B. We had a legit poppin' hotline. Not hotline bling like Drake, like legit had a phone line. Like this line was a call number you can call, leave a voicemail of what you needed, and we'd give you a call back. We'd go downtown, find some fiends, and when I say fiends, I don't mean like the fiends you think you see in the movies, you know what I mean? There are functioning cokeheads in life. I want you niggas to know that. There's niggas who can just do coke, do they bump, you know what I mean? And keep it moving and like nothing happened. So like we would legit go downtown to these bars and like legit just scope out for these niggas. You hand them a card and you know what I mean? We just told them whatever you needed, call this number, and moved on. I would say maybe about 50-60% of the time we would get a phone call. And that phone call would be like, yo, I don't know who you are, but can you get me white? So then you hit them with the, yeah, of course we got that. And you probably like, how the fuck you know what a cokehead looks like? You know what a cokehead looks like if you're from the hood. I know a lot of you niggas out there is like, yo, how did you even think that was safe? That's dangerous, whatever. Yo, cokeheads look like cokeheads, if that makes sense. It's not hard to spot them. Anyway, that's beside the point. So one day, out of nowhere, my boy A, right? He gets a phone call. When he gets this phone call, he's like, yo, I don't have what you need. But the dude really wanted something. The dude was like, he kept calling, like he kept on calling. I guess he called B. B met up with him in his crib. B didn't have it neither. So A hits me up on the phone, he calls me, and he's like, yo, where you at? Obviously, I'm like, yo, I'm home, what's good? And he's like, yo, do you got such and such? You can take the sale if you want it. Oh, that's love, like, you know what I mean? Like, nigga, just tell me when and where. Like, he's like, just come to the crib real quick, and then, you know what I mean? And then I'll tell you whatever. So I go to his crib, he tells me that one of his custies needs however much. So I told him, I was like, all right, cool, I got that on me. But where does he live? Because what we would do was, once they gave us a phone call, we hop in a cab, you meet the dude, you get paid, and then you hop in a cab back home. I know it sounds crazy because you're like, yo, you can make so much more profit if you drive your own car or if you took the train. Cokeheads are the most impatient niggas on the planet. Them niggas ain't waiting for nobody to come serve them. By the time you get there on the train, there's gonna be another nigga serving them. You know what I mean? So you try and get that buck. Driving your own car is a bad fucking idea because them niggas have your license plate and you don't want that. Unless you had like a fucking rental with a fake name or some shit, that'd be the only way that shit works. But other than that, niggas was just hopping in the cab, going down to the fiend's crib or meeting them at the club or whatever it was and, you know, serving them. He lives on 16th Street and 5th. So when I'm thinking about 16th Street and 5th, I'm like, that's a pretty nice area, you know what I mean? So I'm like, all right, cool, I'm down with that. Because at the clubs, like, that's one thing you gotta worry about. All the little undercover niggas, like, you know, because undercovers be in the club and they be in the bars and all that shit, just looking for niggas to serve. So mind you, I don't know my man A's customer. This is his normal customer, he said. He just didn't have what he needed at the time. I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna be straight, you know, it's gonna be no problem. And mind you, the dude don't have my number. And A don't want to give me his number because I told him, yo, hey, yo, give me the number so I can call him when I get there. And he's like, nah. Call me when you get there and I'll call him and then, you know, we'll do it like that. Because obviously he think I'm gonna take his custody, or, you know what I mean? So I was like, I understand, but I don't want your custody or whatever the situation is. I hop in the cab, I head downtown, right? It takes like, maybe I want to say like, let's just say 15 minutes, right? I get there and what I didn't know was homeboy was calling A like non-stop, like, yo, where do that? That nigga was getting upset. A is the type of nigga, he didn't give a fuck. He cursed out his custies. Like, he's fucked up nigga. Usually we'd let that shit go to voicemail. That nigga would pick up, curse niggas out, like, yo, why you calling at 3 in the morning? Mind you, this nigga's awake wanting that sale, you know what I mean? I call this nigga A when I get there to 16th and 5th. And he's like, yo, why you took so long to get there? And I'm like, nigga, what you mean? Nigga, I was in the cab. Like, how you gonna rush the cab? Nigga, the cab, nigga, that was the fastest way to get there, you feel me? And he's like, yeah, this nigga just keep calling my phone, nigga, and I just blacked out on this nigga. I don't even know if you should serve him. I'm like, nigga, I'm already here. I'm gonna serve him. So he was like, all right, let me call him back. So he called him back. He calls me, he's like, yo, just go to the building. Go inside the building. The doorman knows you coming up because he told his doorman that he's having a visitor. Just tell him you want to go to the penthouse. A was an asshole and told the dude on the phone my name. I didn't know that. So I go into the building and I see the doorman, right? And mind you, this is a white area. 16th and 5th, like that nice fucking area where you don't see niggas like me there. The doorman sees me and he's like, he just looks at me. He's just like, I know what you doing, nigga. Like, he gives me that look, you know what I mean? But he understands his dude wants me to come upstairs. Cause I guess he called down. I guess that's what niggas do. I never had a doorman, so I guess you can call down to your doorman and let the nigga know. So he's like, you're Danny. And I'm like, how you know my name, son? Dude just tells me, dude called down and said Danny will be coming up to the penthouse. And I am following orders. Right there and then, I was tight. Cause I was like, this fucking fuck nigga A told this nigga my real fucking name. Like, mind you, my name is Daniel, but he said Danny. That's close to fucking up. And mind you, this is why I've always hated being called Danny from this day on, just because of this fucking story. So I hop in the elevator, I press penthouse, but the elevator ain't moving. And the doorman's just staring at me like an asshole. I'm like, yo, like, why isn't it closing? And he's like, I forgot. I have to put the key in. So I'm like, oh, this nigga's a fuck boy. Like, is this nigga really trying to get me on camera or some shit? Mind you, I have my hat on and shit like that. So like, that shit made me put my hat a little lower. Like, he wanted me on camera, like just standing there or some shit. Like, even though I'm gonna be in the elevator, I just felt like that nigga was doing some suspect shit. He comes in the elevator, he puts the key in, he turns it, he pressed penthouse, and he's like, all right, have a good night. So that nigga's like, have a good night. I'm like, this nigga is crazy. This nigga knows I'm serving this nigga, cause why the fuck would I be seeing some white dude in the penthouse of the building? Whatever. I didn't think nothing else of it other than I figured he knew what I was doing. So I go upstairs in the elevator, right? And when the door opens, my nigga, like, that is probably the illest apartment I have ever seen in my life. There was no hallway. I've never seen that shit in my life. Like, when the elevator just opened, it was like the movies, like it was an apartment. You know what I mean? I guess that's why you needed the key, so you can go to the apartment. Because if not, you can't get into it. You know what I mean? Because there's no hallway. The elevator is the house door. I'm just looking like, yo, anybody home? Cause there's nobody there, like, to greet me or nothing. The marble floor is sparkling, my nigga. Like, I'm not even lying. Like, I know you niggas seen like shiny floor and shit. Like, it looked like a shiny, sparkling floor. It was marble though. And in front of me, like straight directly in front of me, was a big ass round, aquarium with all kind of like exotic fish. And I seen the kitchen to the left with like all the fucking metal appliances and all that shit. Like shit you don't expect to have in New York. Again, there's a big ass aquarium. An aquarium. I'm not just saying like a fish tank. An aquarium, my nigga, in front of me. And like, you can see through it, right? Because it's in the middle. It's like a pylon, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like one of those, just in the middle, see-through. So I see through it, and you see a balcony, like a crazy balcony that sees the city and shit. And I'm like, oh, this shit is so crack. Kitchen was to the left. There's a hallway to the right. I guess that led to the rooms or whatever. And all of a sudden, I hear like stomping or some shit. So I look and I'm like, yo, where are you? Because now I'm just confused. I already forgot about Buddy downstairs and shit. But what was in my mind is he said, have a good night. So again, I hear stomping and I'm like, what the fuck, man? Yo, I call him one last time. And all of a sudden, I see some white, short dude, right? With his fucking button-up shirt. Like, it was like a white button-up shirt, but no shirt underneath. Like, it was half button, like right here, so his chest is all out. And he had like black slacks and like some fucking Converses or some shit. And he comes skipping out the fucking back room, my nigga. This nigga was skipping like, I'm not even joking, like he was skipping like a fairy. Like, I don't mean fairy to say gay, but I mean fairy to say like, he was like, his arms was flailing, my nigga, like.
When he was skipping, it was
like dead ass like that, I swear to God, word of life, just skipping. I didn't understand, like, why the fuck is this nigga skipping in the fucking house? What I realized as soon as he's skipping, there's like fucking angel music like going on. And it's not me like just bullshitting, I swear, there's like music, like, and it's like that soft, heavenly music like going on, like, why is this nigga skipping to some heavenly music? Like, what's going on in here? Because he skipped around his aquarium. Because the rooms were in front of the aquarium, but his ass chose to walk and skip his ass across the fucking floor, behind the aquarium, come back around, and then skip to me. So I'm looking at this nigga like, what's going on? And I look him in his eyes are dumb red, like bloodshot. And I realize this nigga's coked out his fucking mind. He's like, how you doing? I can't even do that voice, no homo, nigga. Like, he was like this, like, it was like the softest, like, unmasculine voice I've ever heard. I'm paranoid now, like, why this nigga talking to me like this? Like, and why is this nigga skipping around the house all high and shit? Like, hi, what's up, man? What did you need? Cause you know, I always ask just in case. Yo, I need such and such amount. I was like, all right, cool. Let me get you this. And I pull it out. I get this nigga whatever he wanted. And mind you, he hasn't gave me the money yet. So I'm looking at him like, cause I don't want to say like, yo, give me my money. I'm just trying to be nice. And he's just staring at me in my eyes. And I'm confused. I'm like, is everything okay? He didn't look at it. Like, he just like put it in his hand, closed his hand, and like just whatever, did like just held it. He looks down, like he sizes me up. Like when someone sizes you up, you like, this nigga trying to fight, but he was like gay, like legit gay. Like that was how he was coming off. Like I didn't feel threatened, but I just felt uncomfortable at that point. Like, why is this nigga looking me up and down? And he's staring at my glitter sneakers. I'm realizing that my sneakers is glittering on his marble glitter floor because he has like special lights, and that's what's making the floor glitter, the special lights. So my sneakers is glittering. So this nigga's like, you have beautiful sneakers. And I'm like, hey man, I gotta go. And he's like, I know, Danny. And again, that shit triggered me to be mad again because this nigga knows my name. Like, he's not supposed to know my name. This nigga's like, he asked me if I wanted something to drink. And I was like, nah. I was joking in my head. I was totally joking. I was like, this nigga trying to roofie me, B. Trying to get some free drugs. And then he literally out of nowhere is like, yo, you want to do a bump with me? And for you niggas that don't know, when a nigga says, do you want to do a bump with me? That means, do you want to do coke with me? And me, no, thank you. And he was like, it's on me, I'll buy it. And I'm like, no, I'm good. Thank you, I appreciate you. And I'm like, yeah, I gotta go though, like seriously. And he's like, all right, how much? And I'm looking at him like, it's such and such amount. So he pulls it out of his pocket, whatever. This nigga had like a crazy wad of money. He hands it to me, whatever. I'm about to turn, like I am turning, like to go to the elevator. And the nigga is like, yo, how much? I look at him like, what the fuck you mean? Like, you just gave me the cash. Like, did you just forget? Are you that high? And he just looks at me like he's waiting for my response. So I like, what? You just paid me. But he's like, nah, I know. But how much for you? Nigga, what do you mean how much for me? What? Son! I snapped on that little nigga. I dead ass was like, my nigga, if you ever say anything out your mouth like that again, my nigga, I will smack the shit out of you. This nigga asked how much for me. This nigga wanted to rape me, my nigga. And then when I was fucking thinking about it, I was like, this nigga asked me if I wanted a fucking drink. This nigga really was trying to roofie me. This nigga really wanted to roofie me, and not for drugs, nigga. Like, he wanted to keep me, nigga, like I was a fucking possession, nigga. Son, no homo. Like, what? What's going on, man? I was so tight. I was tight, nigga. I was tight. Like, what the fuck was I supposed to do in that situation? Was I supposed to just ignore it? Like, no sir, no thank you, I'm flattered. No, nigga, this nigga said how much for you? So now I'm screaming on this nigga in his house, and I catch myself like, yo, chill. This nigga knows your face and your name, and this nigga gonna probably call 5-0 on you if you even like do anything to this nigga. So I stop like mid-sentence, and he's just staring at me like he has like the scared look, like, don't touch me, like, you know what I mean? And I just say, I'm out of here. And I bounce, hop in the elevator, and I leave. In the elevator, I'm trying to call A to curse this nigga out for setting me up on some fucked up situation like this with some gay nigga who's trying to rape me for money. But in the elevator, there's no service. So I'm fucking tight. So I come out the elevator, doorman is looking at me like with that face like, I thought you was about to get fucked, nigga. And I was so tight, like I understood why he was looking at me like that, because I was just some hood kid, 16, 17-year-old, in the elevator. This nigga thought this nigga was gonna fuck me. This nigga must buy mad male escorts, my nigga. This nigga thought I was a male escort. I get outside the building, I get through the A pickup. He's like, yo, it's good. Before he even says, did you serve? I'm like, yo, fuck you. And fuck your fucking man that you just fucking had me serve. Cause this nigga try to fucking buy my asshole, nigga. No homo. I'm going off, I'm tight. And he's cracking up. Mind you, he has me on speakerphone because B is there with him. And B is laughing hysterically like, yo, and all I hear in the background is, yo, we know. And I'm like, what the fuck you mean you know, B? And he's like, yo, he's just calling my phone right now and he's telling me he's sorry. Tell Danny I'm sorry. Please come back so I can apologize in person. And nigga, I was so tight, that got me even more mad. Like, yo, fuck that nigga, B. Yo, I was so heated that this nigga was really calling A and telling him, I'm sorry, tell Danny to come back upstairs. I was sick. I was so sick. These niggas is cracking up, laughing. B fucking started playing the voicemail on the speaker so I can hear it. Yo, I was so tight, my nigga. This nigga was just like, I'm sorry, tell him to come up, I'll give him money. Like, I was tight. I didn't want no money, I just want to go home. I hopped in the cab, I went all the way back to fucking B's house. I cursed these niggas out a little bit more. And all I could think of was, this nigga started complimenting me off my fucking sneakers. And I should have knew the shit was going somewhere it wasn't supposed to go when the fucking doorman told me to have a good fucking night when I was going upstairs. I'll never forget this story, all because of these fucking Air Forces on my feet. Yo, what do you niggas think of my fucking story? I swear to God, this shit is 100% real. No bullshit. Nigga, I swear to my fucking soul, my nigga, like that was 100% real. The nigga tried to buy Just for Kicks 212's booty hole. Like, no homo, B, no homo. Like, I can't even, I don't even know what else to say. I'll holla at you guys later. Just for Kicks 212, 1.